Good morning, Mr. Douglas. We are group number 3, and we are going to talk about the authentic materials and non-authentic materials. Well, about this topic for me was very interesting because I did actually work with authentic materials before, but I didn't know the exact name of those materials. And I was a little confused between authentic and non-authentic materials because I used to think that they basically has the same purpose. But now I know that authentic materials bring to the students uh, such benefits like motivation and participation in class because those materials are diverse and interactive. And I'm also understand that with authentic materials, the communicative competence of the students increase or improve in a better way because they are in contact with meaningful real life situation. So for me, it was a very interesting topic, but tell me more about the topic. For you, partners, it was an interesting topic.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, Mr. Borjas. First of all, I think that it is a really interesting question because, as you may know, we use authentic materials basically daily. And what else? First of all, what's an authentic material and what's a non-authentic material? That's the main question. Well, basically for me, authentic materials are basically, audio, print, video materials that haven't been designed for, give a class an any deliberate use in English language classroom. I mean, they're not for English purposes because they include items such as you said, magazines, newspapers, pictures, songs, and even the internet. So therefore, I strongly believe that these materials improve a lot, as you said, Mr. Paul Borges, the students' motivation and participation because they bring a lot of, I can say, creativity to the classroom, and in that same way, they help students to develop and speed up their skills and enhance their relationship with their own language and the target language. On the other hand, we have the non-authentic materials, which basically refers to those materials that have been specifically for the teaching process. All right. So, and also they are based on the learner's capability. And these materials can be, for example, worksheets, textbooks, and even instructional CDs. So therefore, I strongly believe that they are definitely more culturally appropriate. I know, but somehow most of teachers prefer the other ones, and because these ones are more suitable for the learner's context and their language level. So basically, that's it for my side. Uh, I don't know if you got other question or what do you think?
Hello. I can say that the students who use authentic materials are more exposed to a real life situations because they have the opportunity to experiment real situations in which they have to use the language as it is spoken in real world. For example, as we as a future teacher make an activity in our classrooms, and this activity make that our students imagine that they have to go to maybe to a restaurant and they have to order their favorite dish. During this activity, our students are we are will be exposed to real life situations. They will know how to native people order different dishes, how they act at the time that that they will go to a restaurant, and they will learn the different meals that in this country are eating. And so at the moment that our students live this type of situations, and they go to a restaurant, sorry, they already know how to act in this environment, because I think that the authentic materials help to our students with the transitions into world where English is a norm. And I think that the authentic materials are more active to our students. It's not only to sit our students and give to and give an instruction, sorry, to them that were in a worksheet, and write, for example, what's your name, and where do you live, what do you like. It's more than this. And I think that authentic materials are more static and more simple, because with no non-authentic materials, students only put in practice grammar, and they don't have the opportunity to practice the language. For example, in authentic materials, we can make an activity with our students in which we put to students to sing a song, and they would put in practice, for example, the contractions that the native people make when they talk, for example, and they will learn how to talk more fast or more naturally when they are exposed to these activities. I don't know if one of my classmates have another idea or opinion about this topic.
Okay, in this case, I would like to add my point of view about this topic. It's a very nice topic. Just let me tell you that I heard previously about this, but I have the opportunity to study it deeper this turn about that. And I think that is very essential for us as future teacher to be aware of the importance of authentic materials in our classroom, because those kind of materials have a lot of benefits for us a teacher to have a good management, and also to strengthen the capabilities of our students. And it's also beneficial for our students, because I think that they are going to be more immersed in the environment of the real language situation. And as I was reading in some article when I was doing my comparative chart, it says that this kind of material develop a natural communication environment between the teacher, student, and a student, because in this kind of material, the students get involved in real life situation. I know that so far it is important to take into account the textbook, worksheet. I think that they are very useful, but we need to consider as well to include authentic materials, because this kind of material foster the students' capabilities to speak and to interact with their peers, also to have fun, to be entertained with this kind of materials. And I think that in that way, when students feel comfortable with this kind of environment, they are going to have a better impact in their learning process. So that's why I think that this is fundamental to implement it in our classes, because authentic materials are situations that people live on a daily basis. So if we only teach through notebooks or through books or through worksheets, I think that the process is going to be static, as Claudia said, and kind of bored for the students. And I think that that is not the purpose for us as teacher. The purpose for us is to cause a great impact in the students. And definitely, as Daniel was saying as well, comparing with the no authentic materials, these authentic materials, we can say that they are not based on pedagogical objectives, if I can say like that, compared with the not authentic, because not authentic material are purely designed for teaching purposes. But authentic, no, but we can say that authentic materials in some of the cases and in some situations are more effective. That's not the authentic materials. So we need to think first in the benefits for the students. And definitely these authentic materials also increase the self-confidence on the students at the moment to speak and to communicate with others. Because as Claudia was saying, for example, in real life situations, if the student have the opportunity to interact with native speaker or to travel to another country where people speak English, they are going to face those real life situations. And so that is important for us as teachers to implement that in our classes. And that's it that I can say so far. I don't know if another of my classmates have a different opinion about this.
Okay, thank you, Celeste. For me, the most important thing about the authentic material is that they bring you closer to deeper cultural aspect, okay? And this makes students show more interest in continuing to learn the foreign language. So let's remember that in the learning process, we have two scenarios, okay? One of them is that the classroom where the students practice, learn, and improve, and everything that is needed to become competent, in real scenarios. And to connect these two scenarios, we use the authentic material. And finally, about the authentic material, I think that cultural aspects within authentic materials help the students to bridge the gap between language learner proficiency and performance, which is a common problem among the non-native speakers. On the other hand, the non-authentic materials are also effective for teaching English because those materials, such as textbooks, are designed for teaching purpose, so it suits the learner's ability. And in addition, non-authentic materials are more suitable for the learners because the content has been adjusted to be to the students' level and context. So as a conclusion, I think that both of them are very important to teach and learn a foreign language.
I also believe the same as you, Alejandro, because at the beginning I thought that authentic materials was, I have a very distant idea of what authentic materials really was or really were. So I thought that they referred to the materials that are made by our own, but it's not that the real meaning of authentic materials. So now that I know what authentic materials and non-authentic materials really are, I think that they are very essential for us as teachers and also as students, because I can see that the authentic materials also can involve students to get more in real life situations, but also I think, and I have that controversial controversial opinion about non-authentic materials and authentic materials because I think that authentic materials are used to get used to those vocabulary that are very common on native speakers and that are more commonly used in real life situations. But I also think that they can be very, how can I say this? Like shy students can be like nervous if they are put so quickly in that situation. If I can say, for example, I am very shy, and when I was a student, and maybe a teacher told me, "Come here and come here and tell me something about or talk about like you are in a restaurant," and I get very shy because I don't know very well about that. So I feel more comfortable reading the conversations of the books. So maybe there are a lot of students that can feel like that. They feel like in the comfort zone. And I feel that with the non-authentic materials. I think that are more like not so dangerous for just saying something. And that I think that they are important for that. But I also think that authentic materials are important for those people, those students that are more sure about what they want and what they really, really need. So they need to be like in hand. They need to be together. They need to be used in different cases. In like Alejandro said, in both scenarios, this is one scenario, and you can use the authentic materials, but in the other scenario, you can use the non-authentic materials. So I think both are very important. And also I think that it depends on the type of learners. Also in the type of learners, we need to study our students, how they can learn and how it can be useful for them. But I think, and I want to give my opinion about the TV shows and the songs and documentaries, that they are very useful too, to get more involved on those vocabulary, because that words of the common phrases uh, and that are used on those TV shows and series are very commonly and not too difficult to use. And students can be very involved when you watch a lot of series in English or maybe in any language. For example, Japanese in the animes are very, it's very commonly see that people learn Japanese watching anime. So it can be the same as watching series, American series. So that's my opinion about the authentic and non-authentic material.
Okay, thank you. I found something interesting in all our opinions, and it's that we use three keywords through all the explanation, and those three words are essential because authentic materials are essential for us as a teacher to improve our skills to teach. The second was cultural aspect, because cultural aspect is very helpful to go deeper in the target language. And the last one is real life situation, because with real life situation, our students will know how to language really works and how to use in his or her daily activities. So that's all for today, Mr. I hope you can enjoy this presentation and have a good day.